Hello, everyone. My name is Leslie Powers. I'm one of the organizers for the Freedom Under Natural Law Conference. We're looking forward to FUNL 5 coming up this February 21st and 22nd. And our theme is Ignite, Ignite Hearts and Minds. This will be an event that will spark truth, love, and freedom. And it's the fifth in a series of conferences really meant to inspire people to connect with the concepts of natural law and freedom and to build a better world. So I'm really happy to have with me here Geri Cabezudo, who is the founder and director of the Sound Path for Freedom event, which was a spectacular music event that was both online and in person, and it involved a lot of your heart and soul effort. So maybe we could just start with a little bit of a history of how what that program, what that event was like.
Yeah, of course. Well, firstly, thank you so much for having me. I've a funnel, Freedom Under Natural Law was the inspiration for SoundPath. I was so moved by presentations like yours, Derek Bartolocelli, Conrad Rogos, sort of touching on music and the transformative sort of applications. And I was like, how come there hasn't been a music festival for natural law yet? And I was like, let's, care. Like, we got to just put that in action. So I'm going to do that. And with AI tools nowadays, like, if you have a startup idea that's, moral that you want to see manifested, you can really I know there's a lot of controversy with AI, but it's a tool. It can be used for, all sorts of purposes, and you can use it for good. And we were able to sort of launch this hybrid natural law-based music festival experience. We had, dance performance from Dorian Saracen. We had comedy from David Rodriguez, poetry, spoken word art. So there's all kinds of avenues. Next year, I would love visual arts to be more incorporated. And yeah, just really engaging people. So going back to sort of, who I am and what I'm about, I would say I'm a sort of little C creator, trying to manifest living examples for humanity to envision a natural law-based life for themselves, by sort of co-creating these spaces, whether it's like a music festival or the Liberation Academy education, which is my sort of homeschooling project, which I've had to take a pause on because right now I'm sort of trying to apply the trivium process in everything that I do. So, like, when I was sort of looking at the sound path and wanting to put care in action, okay, I went through the input, processing, output, stages of, learning what it took to do a music festival, talking to other people that have worked in these sorts of organizational levels, talking to you, talking to Will Keller, talking to Derek Bartolocelli, who was like, a key figure for SoundPath to, literally going over, well, this is how we did it for Funnel. And I'm like, oh, okay. So appreciating that we're all standing on the shoulders of each other. And anyway, and then applying that trivium process to, okay, well, I want to build a homeschooling co-op business. I want to be paid to homeschool my children and other people's children. How do I go about that? Back engineering that, thinking about, my educational experience in the past and like how I can apply that with like a business experience and like, and so the trivium has just always been a way for me to not only understand reality, but manifest in reality. And so right now, I'm in a child custody situation. I have been thinking a lot about um, Mark Passio's recent shadow work seminar And this idea of applying the trivium to one's own shadow work process. And I've been alchemizing my divine masculine and feminine sides to manifest an AI prompt engineering consulting business for pro se litigants going through, say, family law cases, appellate cases, civil cases. I have experience using AI for these. I have an active, sort of case situation in place. And so it's hard to talk about publicly. But what I will say is, I think we're in a unique position in terms of humanity to use these sorts of AI tools for good, for like using these like legal loopholes and winning the game against them, if you're being pulled into sort of like legal battlefields, and really, just shining light on the legal child trafficking system that is the family law court system, which I found, having talked to other mothers. The SRA research field area and the family law child custody area are very close next to each other. I'll just put it that way. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's what's been going on.
Yeah, that's a lot, Jerry. And I'm really, observing how you're taking the real life challenges and barriers that you're running up against and then alchemizing that through like you said, the trivium process and understanding moral right, to base and then utilizing the tools that we do have, via technology for good, right? For the fight for what's right and to, shine a light on the wrongdoings, that are occurring through the so-called social justice system, right? Which really is in many ways inverted into doing wrongdoings, which I, as a, clinical social worker, psychotherapist, I've seen very much so in the child protective service and in the family law court and so forth. There's so many barriers and so much corruption. So you're really stepping into the fire. I really admire you and respect you for your courage and your flexibility and adaptability throughout all this, because as you're going through your most difficult times, you're also alchemizing this to create something good to help others. And you did that with SoundPath. You're doing that now with this work you just described. And I really admire that. And so please describe a little bit of your seed idea for your talk at Funnel.
Yeah. So, in general, it's on the surface level of things, it's about empowering oneself through active learning experiences. I like to use that term instead of trauma because I think the word trauma can insinuate victim mentality. Um, and so just sort of like rising above the sort of drama triangles to manifest and create, um little c create right action in the world, whether that looks like self-defense in a legal battlefield, whether it looks like, wanting to manifest a natural law based music festival, whatever the vision is, like how to do that, because you can apply the trivium to everything, and then when you have natural law in alignment as well, like the possibilities for creation are endless. And like just really just wanting to inspire people to see themselves as bigger than what we've been programmed to sort of believe, which is this small, okay, you're either the victim or the martyr or the warrior in the sort of drama triangle. And I've, done a lot of healing work, shamanic work on myself with practitioners. I've tried the CBT thing. I've done plant medicine. I've done journaling, meditation, transcendental meditation was talked about. I've recommend that. Um, yoga, martial arts, dance, music, tarot cards, just I'm spending the day writing motions and doing legal research, masculine, masculine, masculine. Okay, I need to like ground myself this afternoon and like make myself some tea and just self-care, and just anyway, so I'm going to be talking about that.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. So within that is this blending of, you know, the masculine and feminine and holding on to our essence and our, um, our humanity, right? As we're stepping into the machine and learning how to match, step up in this maybe hyper masculine, little bit, say, satanic influenced environment, right? And still hold on to yourself. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's an important piece of that. Yeah. So what do you hope that people can take away, that will inspire them and ignite, action into their own lives? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've sort of thought of this whole spiritual initiation journey from being one of like, okay, I was listening to a podcast once to like joining the fold and like actually like participating, manifesting, and just really trying to make a dent and make a difference, and realizing that like there is no cavalry. I am the cavalry. I have to do the work on myself to like I'm not going to look to external people, authorities, resources, whatever. Like I'm going to just really think about like what I can do, and just really growing up and just being a parent to oneself and being responsible for oneself, and um what how actually freeing that is, and how the creation possibilities are endless.
That's a fantastic message. And it really holds true to this idea of inner monarchy and really establishing ourselves as the cause point and taking responsibility for ourselves and our lives. And then using that trivium process to truly understand what's reality, what is true. And that will include things that we won't like seeing, you know, and still maintaining a sense of self and internal power. I think as you step forward through action, through well thought through action, right? And in that middle out, place of processing is really, I think alchemizing a lot of emotions, both a whole range of emotion that can become very heavy, and I'm sure make it very hard to want to continue on in this process. And so, maybe speak a little bit about that alchemizing emotion, and not letting the what trying not to focus on in terms of the trauma, but turning it into an active process.
Yeah, well, firstly, I want to thank you. You've created a sort of safe space for people that are heart-centered, that are wanting to sort of tap into the sort of cosmic mother within ourselves, and like um I uh I admire you. You inspire me. Everything that you've done with Funnel, and with your just the work that you've done over the years. I'm like, oh, I can't imagine doing this for like one more month. And then I'm like, oh, but like people like Leslie, you've been like, I don't want to say fighting, but like moving through this experience of doing the one great work earnestly. And yeah, like I crave these like archetypal figures in my mind to model myself from. So like, I have people like you, Kat Waters, Jay Parker, Mark Passio. Like these are these people that have been doing this for so long, and like I look up to these to all of you, and just really sort of like trying to manifest, you know, uh, sort of the generational like momentum that we're all co-creating.
Mhm.
I'm very free. I'm very in my right brain right now. So like if I'm not really sure I even answered your
No, you
question.
did. No, you are, Jerry. You're doing great.
Okay.
I appreciate that shout out. I do think that this is a process that, in order to overcome the discouragements and some of the ways that this fight, I guess if you want to see it that way, seems so momentous, and to avoid feeling so small and powerless, I think we it's essential that we come together and that we inspire each other, and that, yeah, right, it's a
Yeah.
mutual thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you inspire me, and just finding community, but just not any community, like finding community that will like genuine, like we can co-inspire each other, and like, and then like maybe I can like be a point of inspiration and pass it forward to the next, and just yeah, just being part of that like energy sort of wave.
Yeah.
And not in a toxic positivity sort of way, but just like, I'm going to share dark parts of myself and that I'm ashamed by, that I hold guilt or whatever, these sort of like, um, and having witnesses to it, like having like friends that care has been huge. I'm so grateful for that. And just gratitude practice, like every day, just like waking up and just like, okay, what am I thankful for? And then that plus like community, like that has helped me move through, and just like people like a lot, like hearing me cry and trusting that people are gonna hold that for me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a vaccine process and experience, I think, that helps fuel any of us, all of us that are doing this work, to sustain it, and hopefully being a very like positive in the sense of healthy, right? Yeah, that we can sustain healthy practices to keep igniting that spark within us and keep the flame burning, right? Along with the theme of our funnel 5. So, yes. So please share any last words and where people can find your work. I know that SoundPath is going to be coming back out to the public fairly soon. So please tell people where they can find that.
Yeah, so like I said, well, in general, I just really hope to inspire as you have for me, and as we're all sort of in this movement trying to inspire just um morality and just sovereign little c creator divine connection. And whether you want to check out my music festival work with soundpath.org, my homeschooling co-op business, which I'm hoping to return to once I get my kids back, that's the Liberation Academy.education. And then if you want to learn about my child custody case, or how to get in touch with me to learn more about AI prompt engineer consulting for pro se litigation, you can check out imsadinpinellascounty.com, and PINELLAS County. And yeah, just I just want to take this moment to share gratitude for you, Leslie. I just find this circle of just, wow, you inspired me to do SoundPath, and then we're having this interview, and then like that, like we're just generating, and I'm so honored to generate with you. So thank
Yeah.
you.
As am I, Jerry. Really glad to stand by your side here, and so excited to have you as a presenter at Funnel 5. Again, that's coming up February 21st and 22nd. It's an online conference, free. Keep your eye out on freedomundernaturalaw.com for more information. Thanks so much, Jerry.
Thank you.
Yep. And we'll see y'all at Funnel.